You might not realize it because social media portrays so much negativity, but there are so many people out there who are making millions of dollars. There are so many people out there who have a happy and healthy marriage. There are so many people out there who are living just their dream lives and are just happy with whatever they're doing. And these are all successful people. And it's not so hard to be someone who is successful. You just need to develop a mindset and these behaviors and implement them to your daily lives. And being in LA and New York City, I have met plenty of successful people in my life, and I would say that I'm a pretty successful person as well. I am living my dream life, doing content creation and making these videos for you guys. If you want to tap into that successful mindset, then don't worry, because your online bestie is here and I got you. Hi, I'm Charlize Chu, the host of the Online Bestie podcast, where I talk about all things glow up, self-care, wellness, relationship advice, so we can all be the best version of ourselves. So if you like this episode, then make sure to rate and review on Spotify and like and subscribe on YouTube. Comment what else you want to see next from me. So after observing similar patterns that I saw around successful people that I knew, and just by reading a lot of books, I've broken it down into 4 habits that I find all successful people do. I want to preface that success does not just mean success in a job. Success can be success in your friendship, relationship, and what I have found is that a lot of successful people are successful in almost every aspect of their lives because of these habits that they have adopted, and it has allowed them to use these habits onto other aspects of their lives. So when I go through these behaviors, you guys can find something that you really want to be successful in and implement this into that, but also be mindful to also add these into just like your daily life too, and not just focus on one specific thing. So the first characteristic that all successful people have is being able to accept failure. I feel like this is one of the most important part, because you cannot have success if you don't have failure. Now, I remember taking an entrepreneurship class while I was in college, and they literally said this all the time, that 90% of startups fail. In life, you fail most of the time. You make mistakes. You make little mistakes throughout the day. We need to have these mistakes in order to learn from them and be able to succeed in what we want. So successful people do not fear failure and not let the thought of just failing hold them back. They embrace it. They know that, you know what, I might fail. They still try their best into whatever they want to do. A lot of people are afraid of failure and afraid of what other people think, but most people aren't even thinking about you, okay? Everybody's worried about their own life and their own goals. Because a lot of people that I know don't start things that they want to do because they're afraid of either how other people will view them or it not going well. But how will you know if it is going to go well or not if you don't even try? I think a lot of people are afraid to do things as well, because if it does fail, they're like, okay, well, this goal and hope that I had my entire life is not for me. And I think a lot of people can be heartbroken by that, because that is very sad, because it's something that you wanted your whole life. Even if you do fail, that doesn't mean you have to stop trying. Or you can use this failure as a lesson, and it might teach you something else, and you might find something else that you can be successful in. For example, let's say that you really wanted to be good at basketball. Maybe you practice all your life and you decide, you know what, I'm going to try out for a basketball team. You do not make it to this basketball team. But let's say that you keep failing every time you try to make it into this team. And then you realize, you know what, maybe basketball is just not my thing. It's not meant for me. But what you learned while training for all these years is that you are very fast. So instead of basketball, you decide to try out for a track team, and you realize that you are amazing at track because of how fast you are. You would not have known that if you didn't try out basketball and you didn't fail, because rejection is redirection. You either need to keep trying or find something new. Success is not overnight, okay? You have to start somewhere. You know, even the smartest people, the most talented people that you see, they all started from not knowing a single thing. And I'm sure that these people have been rejected so many times, and they have been let down, they have made mistakes, and they had to come back up from it. But these mistakes have only made them be even better. And instead of focusing so much on the problems, you need to focus on the solution. So as soon as you see that something went wrong, you need to figure out what you can do to be better, because that's the only way that's going to lead you to succeeding and mastering what you want. And with failure, successful people are always learning, which is characteristic number 2 that every successful person has, is that they are constantly just seeking to expand their knowledge. Everybody I know who is successful has either a mentor, a coach, a therapist, or all three to better their lives and understand how to improve themselves, either emotionally, in their work, in their relationship, whatever it is. Because even though you are the smartest person in the room, you are still able to learn from another person in that room. Because everybody has gone through different experiences, everybody has different perspectives. So successful people are always trying to learn more and connect with people to get different perspectives. And even though you feel like you might be really knowledgeable on a topic already, the world is constantly evolving. Things are always changing. It's good to keep up to date with it and kind of know what's going on with society. I mean, you know, me being a social media creator, I know a lot about social media, but social media is changing every single day, and I don't even know what it might look like in a year. I'm always trying to stay up to date with social media trends, new platforms. I have a lot of friends who just have stacks and stacks of books in their room. We are so grateful to live in a world where there are so many books out now with people who put their time and energy into writing these books for us to share this knowledge. Like, I have read a book on socializing, I have read a book on time management, I have read a book on my finances. Like, there's literally a book for everything out there. And not only am I trying to learn just from reading or taking courses online, but I am physically trying to get experience in things that I don't know about. So if you are trying to be successful, you need to be open to learning new things, taking in other people's opinions and criticisms and perspective. The world is so big, the human mind, it's so complex that what we know is not absolute. And there might be things that people teach or say that you don't agree with, but at least you know the different perspectives there are into a certain topic. And learning about new things will just help make socializing a lot easier, because successful people, they also have a big network, okay? They have these connections of people who can help them out and they help out with, and that's because they know how to socialize. Sometimes I like to listen to the news before I go out, and I know I'm seeing people. So if I don't know what to say, I can be like, oh my god, did you hear what happened in the news? It's always a great conversation starter. Skill number 3 that all successful people have is time management. A lot of the successful people I know are able to balance so many things, like successful at their job, successful at a hobby, successful in their family life. They literally have a kid or something. So if you are trying to be able to balance so many different things, because, you know, we all have different interests, and I'm sure that you guys have other goals that you want to try to dabble into, and sometimes it's so much that you don't know how you could even fit all of that. I want you guys to list out your top priorities in life. Find time for all those things. You don't have to fit every single one of those things every day, but at least every week you are able to fit in time for those priorities in your life. So if friendship was something that you really prioritize, make sure you are fitting in time to see your friends at least once a week. If health is a priority for you, then when you are making your schedule for the day, because that's also very important to time manage, is to make a set schedule for yourself. Set in time for your day to focus on your health. And when you know what your priorities are and you have made that schedule for yourself, it is so much easier for you to say no to things that you don't want to do. Because I used to be someone who was terrible at setting my boundaries and saying no. I was a yes man. Every time my friend wanted to go out, I would say yes, even though I didn't want to, or I knew I had to wake up early the next morning, I would still say yes. When I found out what I prioritized for myself, like my sleep schedule, my work, I was able to be like, you know what, this does not serve me and is not matching my schedule right now, so I'm going to pass on this. You should live your life the way you want to live it, not based on other people's, and you should live your life based on your own schedule. With time management, you need to have discipline, because obviously there are certain things that we might prioritize for ourselves, but we don't always want to do. Like, I don't always want to work out every day, but I know that this is what I need to do to feel the best, so I make sure I put it in my schedule every day. And it's important to remember to not just focus on prioritizing making money or work or job, but also your family, your mental health, your wellness. If you are successful in all these other areas in your life, then you can be successful in whatever your main goal is because you have a clear mind. Let's say your relationship with your friends or your family weren't doing well. You can't go into work and be at your best because your relationship with your family and friends will always be in the back of your mind and stressing you out. Another habit that all successful people have is planning ahead. I think you do need to have spontaneity to be successful at an extent, but what I have noticed is that a lot of these successful people are planners. That's when I learned that, you know what, maybe I should become more of a planner too, because I used to be way more of a spontaneous person. That can cause a lot more risks. I did say that successful people embrace mistakes and are able to accept failure. There are also certain risks and mistakes that can be avoidable and aren't always necessary. Sometimes when you're too spontaneous, you create a lot of unnecessary risk, which can really hold you back. You need to become very intentional and mindful about every decision that you make, every action you do, what you say to people. Make sure that what you do is benefiting you, it is helping you be effective rather than maybe sabotaging you. And when you plan ahead and you're more intentional, this will help you set clearer goals and help you identify what you want. For me, planning ahead means rather than just going into my week not knowing what to do, I think about what I already have scheduled in and what is the best way to utilize my time with my schedule before the week starts rather than just like raw dogging it. It could also look like a financial decision. If there is something that I really want to buy for myself, I should think like, is this really effective for me? Is this something that I need and is benefiting me right now? Rather than just not thinking and buying something right away that may not even benefit me or may not even be something that I truly want. So just be very intentional and mindful of what you do throughout the day so you are not wasting your time, your energy, your money on things that don't need it. So it's that time of the episode where I read in the comments you sent in on Spotify and on YouTube. This first one says, I've been listening to this podcast for a while and let me just say it's been a huge life changer. I'm a super anxious person who's working on improving myself and my relationship, and this video came in the perfect time. Love everything you do. Thank you so much for sending that in. Your support means so much to me. You have no idea. And I'm so proud of you for working on yourself and continuing to listen to my episodes. It makes me so happy when you guys send in comments like that. So thank you. This next one says, this is exactly what I need. Thank you so much, Char. I love you so much. I have a question I would like to ask. Why does my ex constantly say that he's putting effort in the relationship and he's changing to be a better person? And when I pointed it out, why are you still repeating something that traumatized me? He just snaps at me. If I am getting your question right, your ex is constantly bringing up that he is trying to change and put in more effort. When you pointed out that he is constantly bringing it up, and I assume that he is not actually changing, he just snaps at you. A lot of people can get very defensive because they know that they're in the wrong. So if you're pointing it out to him, he might know that he's in the wrong for constantly saying that and not changing. This might be something he's already insecure about. I'm sure he knows himself that he's not actually changing or putting in the effort. You bringing up is probably making him more upset. So just know that this has nothing to do with you and everything to do with him, and he needs to work on himself and heal that part of him. You did say ex, so I'm assuming he's your ex, so we need to move on and find someone else better. You want me to read your comments in the next Online Bestie episode, then make sure to leave a comment on YouTube or Spotify. So that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys on the next Reset Sunday. Bye!